I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Okay, hopefully, after today's episode, we can be flipping some Galaxy. So, I'm going to do a little bit of CPU diagnostics. I'm not going to mess around too much with it, but just for fun, I want to see if I can get the CPU to boot. So, the issue I'm having that was demonstrated in the last episode is that I get one flicker and two flashes on the LED on the CPU. Check it out. Flicker, flash, flash. All right, so that means we are not getting our third flash, and I just briefly looked that up on PinWiki, and I did stumble into some good information here. Let's see if I can demonstrate. Okay, so issues with 5101 RAM chips. It says that this is often the cause of boards not showing a third flash if you have, well, let's take it from the top. The socket at U8, that's the RAM chip. Oh, and U13 for Stern MPU 200. Okay, that is a Stern MPU 200 board, so I'm going to have to double check U13. Is very close to the corrosion effects of the alkali of the leaking battery, which I have some evidence of. And this is often the cause of boards not showing a third flash. What else does it say? Somewhere else here. On a Stern MPU, failure to activate the third flash can also be attributed to the following. If the U8 and U13 show correct continuity, blah, 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 RAM is good. Problem could be with U9 or on Stern MPU 200's U14. And rarely the 6800 CPU at U9. So it looks like I gotta check U14 and U13. All right, I don't know if you could read that at all, but that's kind of what I've found thus far. So, here's U8, here's U9 up here, and what am I supposed to be looking for? U13, is that socketed 16, 2017, 18, 19, 14, oh, here's U13, okay. So you can see this is in the corrosion zone. So I think what I'll do is I'll reseat these couple chips, maybe reseat U9, just see if that makes any difference. Like I said, I'm not going to dive too far into this because I am no board technician, but it will be fun to try. There is a Canadian screw in there. That's a Red Robbie. That's funny. Oh, and another one here. I've heard of like a story or two of like someone in Australia getting a machine shipped to them and like, what are these god-awful screws? I do not have a tool in my toolbox that can deal with these square. Who invented? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's Red Robbie for you. All right, so I'm going to, and they're throughout the whole back box, except lamp driver, we got flathead. So this is pretty much zero original board screws. Okay, I'm gonna mess around with a couple chips and we'll try and power it on again. All right, I think I see part of the problem here. It does look like corrosion in the socket for the U8 chip. So yeah, that I am thinking is definitely part of our problem. Fortunately, the corrosion doesn't go up much higher than that, so you know, I could bust out the old Hacko and replace that chip, do the treatment for all this alkaline damage, but I'd rather send out the board to my board guy. But my board guy is currently retired, So we are still kind of looking for a new board guy. We know there's a few options out there, but we haven't tested any of the waters yet. But yeah, that is definitely a problem. Okay, I cleaned up the socket a little bit with compressed air and a toothbrush and rubbing alcohol. The chip came out fine. Then I kind of gently put it in, and I was like, wait a minute, I better just double check the orientation. So I went to pull it back out, and I like bent the shit out of 4 legs. It's like, it was all going so smooth. But I straightened them out. Let's see, how do they look? Yeah, that looks okay. Top side. Yeah, that looks okay. 51 L01. I don't know why there's an L there, but okay. I have very low expectations for this, but you never know. So let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. No, 3. Okay. I think I will just advance to the Alltek CPU. Okay, got the new Alltek board hooked up. One issue I was having is that the holes are not quite the same spot as the original board. This hole is a little bit over to the right. So trying to cram the board up against all this wiring harness back there, it literally doesn't want to fit. So for now, I'm just going to leave it floating and then deal with it later. Maybe I have an original CPU that's been restored, possibly. But hey, let's see once and for all if this display is in fact a Bally. Yeah, there it is. That one's Bally, and all the other ones are Stern. Okay. Anyway, so put the dip switches in the correct position for Galaxy. And on this MPU 200, these clock jumpers need to be on the left side. Otherwise, the game will, I believe, play like in slow motion, like the sounds and the lights and everything's just kind of slower. I did that accidentally once. I'm like, what is going on here? But my jumpers were not on correct. So, all right. Let's zoom out. I put in a ball just in case. I know that's wishful thinking. But this is the moment of truce. No, moment of truth. I always get that mixed up. All right. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are booted up. Sweet. Look at that. We got a track mode. Oh, and the relay works. That's by the transformer. I just heard it clacking and clicking and all the lights went crazy. So, until I fix the sound, we won't have any of that. But we've got lights, we've got relay, we've got a working solenoid driver, despite the whammies on it. Let's go check out our displays. Okay, definitely have issues there. That is probably gonna say connector related. Not sure which connector, but let's run through some tests for fun. This will be our, oh, that was interesting. Okay. Oh, I thought that was just lamp test, but that's like running through everything, I think. Those pop bumpers are super weak. They're trying to pop. Oh, I heard the relay back here click, so that's okay. But slingshots aren't firing. they could be special solenoids, not controlled by the CPU. There's something weird about these pop bumpers though. Okay, let's advance to the next test. What do we got here? Okay, this is just straight up lamp test. So it looks like all of our GI is okay. All of our controlled lamps are okay. Let's do this. You know, I'm sure there are some that are out, but don't see anything worrisome there. All the back box GI are good. I'll have to check. Oh, these aren't blinker bulbs. They're controlled lamps. Anyway, I thought they were those rounded 555 blinker bulbs at first when they were blinking away before. Okay, let's go to the next test. Is that display test? Oh, look at that. Interesting. They all work perfectly in display test. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Interesting. Well, what's next? There's the solenoid test. Watch these pop bumpers. They are just pathetic. Come on. And wow, what is going on with those things? That's weird. Almost seems like they're the wrong voltage. Maybe I'll have to check the voltage on power supply just to confirm. What else do we got? What's this? Switch test, maybe? Switch number 9 is closed. Try and close some other switches. Oh, maybe it's the... Hey, also, drop target. Solenoid's not firing. This solenoid's not firing. Okay, a lot of stuff going on here. Oh, look, more broken plastic. So, yeah, it'll be good to bust out that new plastic set. Okay, before I get too much further, I think I'm just going to pop in that Alltek solenoid driver and rule that out of the equation. All right, Alltek driver board installed and connected. So let's see if we get any better behavior out of this machine this time around. See if we got any troublesome LEDs or anything like that. All our voltage lights are there, so looks like we're not missing anything. That's supposed to be doing that. No red lights anywhere. Okay, so booted back up. How are the displays now? Okay, that's a weird one. Why would that work in display test, but not during attract mode or gameplay, I'm assuming? Okay, well, I think that light is locked on. Why would that be on non-stop? It's kind of pulsing, but I don't think shoot again should be on non-stop. So we will address that later. But okay, let's run through this test again. See if we get some more action. No. Still got pathetic pop bumpers. And we're not getting drop targets. Oh, I just saw this slingshot try to fire. Maybe... Oh, did you see that? I wonder if they're all doing that. Let's take a look at this lever, see if it tries to move, and the drop targets if they try and budge a little bit. No, but I think I heard a bit of a buzzing here. So it seems like, I don't know, maybe I wired up something wrong and I put like a 12 volts to the solenoids when it's supposed to be like, you know, 43 volts or whatever it is. Hey, there's one of those 555 blinker bulbs. Burnt out. That guy there. Okay. definitely got to do some investigation. So we're not quite there yet. Let's, for fun, try and start a game. See what happens. Oh, that kind of seems like, could that be clock jumpers? Did I read that wrong? Are they supposed to be on the right? That doesn't make sense though, does it? Okay. All right, let's see if we can start a game here. Come on, credit wire, where are you? Gotta make it difficult, don't you? These two wires here. Okay. I got the key to success right here. Okay. That should do the trick. I don't know if it's going to tell me if I've got credits or not. Doesn't look too promising. Okay. The start button for fun? Nope. Okay, let's try adding credits on this side. Okay, definitely shorted those lugs together. No credits. And nada. Okay, well, I've got to figure out what's going on here with the new power supply Alltek CPU and driver. We've got very little action. I guess we got half the action we want. So I'm going to futz around here for a bit. We're getting closer, so this is good, but some further investigation is required, so I'll be back. Okay, I just spent a bunch of time double checking my voltages on the power supply, on the solenoid driver. Everything checks out okay, except my 12 volts is a little high. It's at around 16 volts, but I don't think that's a major issue. So the next thing I did, I had no luck with anything. I tried to remove the coin mechs and activate the actual switch instead of jumpering the tabs together to try and get some credits. So I thought as a last-ditch effort I would do the memory clear function. So you take all your dip switches and you put them up, except for the first one, turn on the machine, and then give it a couple seconds, like 10 seconds, clears the memory. Then you reset it back to this for Galaxy, switch 2 and 4 and the last one up. So I just did that, and we might have some good news. There's one notable change so far that I noticed, and look at that. The displays are now behaving, I think. They aren't doing the weird thing anyway. So, I wonder if I just had garbage in the memory, and maybe that's all it was, but next thing we're going to do is see if we can add a credit. We're not going to get any sound effects, that's for sure. Soundboard's disconnected, and the speaker's disconnected. So, let's see if we have any good news here. Oh, damn it. I thought for sure that we would at least be able to add a credit. Let's try the other side. Come on. But yeah, all the wiring on the power supply, I double checked that. Cross-referenced it with Magic. Looked good. To the start button anyway. No, nothing. Okay. I don't think we need the ball in there. That's more of like a Gottlieb thing, but throw it in there. Oh, I got the lighting effect there. Thought that was a game starting for a second. Okay, so I guess we solved the display issue. Let's hit the diagnostic one more time. Yeah, still got weak pop bumpers. I did manually pop up the drop target bank. But let's see if this guy goes, or this guy goes, or this guy goes. No, okay. Definitely still in weak mode. Not sure what this is yet, but I feel like we made one tiny step forward. Oh, okay. Displays are doing their thing. Let's take a look here. What's happening here? I see some red lights. Not working, not working, not working, not working. Oh. Oh, they're just the different colors of each solenoid. So red doesn't mean not working. Or does it? I don't actually know. What I do know is this game is funky, and I need to investigate further. Well, checked all the fuses just in case. They're all fine. Then I checked the playfield fuse, which I didn't think would solve my problem if it was blown, but it was not blown. But it was a 5 amp slow blow, and it requires a 1 amp, so that couldn't have been good. So this is awfully friggin' tight. Like, why is that so friggin' tight? Anyway, that's at least corrected. And I've been like, kind of looks like someone replaced a lot of the diodes. I've never really seen those blue ones before, and they appear on several of the coils. And I think I've seen at least 3 or 4 of them. But I don't really see anything that is alarming just yet. Nothing obvious anyway, so that's where I'm at. Still plugging away. Alright, I'm finally onto something here. Check this out. I'm going to measure some voltage at the coils. Start with pop bumper. 5.8 volts. Let's go over to this pop bumper. Same thing. This one, 5.8 volts. This guy over here, 5.8. This guy down here. See what I'm saying? I'm gonna reach over here to the drop target coil. All solenoids are on 6 volts. That explains a lot. They're supposed to be 43 volts. So despite checking my wiring, there's got to be a wiring issue somewhere. So I'm going to pull up the schematics and try and figure out what is wired incorrectly. It might not be here because I was pretty sure that's all good. So maybe it is on the solenoid driver itself, but I feel like I am getting somewhere. So I am going to chase my tail and see what I can find. Okay, I'm still racking my brain. This is the next thing I've discovered, just kind of upon closer investigation. I noticed this. Direct replacement for Bally and Stern SDU 100. So got me thinking that Alltek driver might not be compatible with every Bally and Stern game. So I consulted the manual. What games will the solenoid driver board work in? And under G for Galaxy, there ain't no Galaxy. So, I think I had the same problem when I had the other original driver board in there. So I'm not convinced that that's the solution, but it does appear as though this Alltek solenoid driver is not compatible. So I'm going to go see if I have a known working solenoid driver board upstairs, or even borrow one from another machine, rather than put in the toasty one, which I don't really trust just yet, but maybe I'm onto something. Okay, I stuck in a different solenoid driver. My notes tell me that I wrote on the back of the board that this came from old Harlem Globetrotters and that it works. To what extent, I do not know. But I don't know if I trust my notes all that well. That was years ago. So let's turn her on and see what happens. Come on. Okay. Nothing bad happened, so that's a good start. What's going on over here? Everything seems fine. Okay, well, I guess the next thing is try this again, but pretty sure that is just not gonna work for some reason. Try both switches in case one is faulty. Come on there. Okay, that has been successfully shorted. See if there's any credits. No, didn't think so. Okay, well, let's try the solenoid test again. Same thing. Weakness. Okay. So, it's got to be connector related. This happens, weakness, in 3 different solenoid drivers. So, I'm not blaming the CPU, not blaming the power supply. It has to be wiring. So, I'll keep plugging away for a little bit more, but then I'm going to retire for the night. So, hopefully I have some good news when I come back. Okay, no news to report. I just made a post on Pinball Repair Help Group. See if the gurus can guide me in the right direction. Basically, I think it's prudent to kind of double check all these connections, which I've done kind of half-assedly. And, you know, maybe there's a 5-volt wire where a 40-volt wire should be. So I can't exactly translate the schematics as good as I'd like to. So this is the closest I've got. This solenoid driver schematic. This connector J3, pin 5, supposed to be yellow, white wire. Looks like that's the 43-volt solenoid line. There's the flipper enable relay. And then, yeah, so the wire that is in pin 5 on J3 is yellow. It's not yellow-white. But, you know, does it end up over here? J4, pin 11. Is that wire coming out the other side? J4, pin 11. Let's just look at that for fun. J4, where is that? J5, J4, pin 11. Ooh, that looks yellow-white. Is that pin 11 though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think that's pin 11. So that's where I'm going to leave it. We've definitely made some progress and done some learning. Still not convinced that that Alltek board doesn't work for Galaxy, but you know, I guess the manual says it doesn't, so I'll stick to these original drivers for now. But that's where I'm gonna leave us for tonight. I guess we're getting closer, but not quite there yet. So we'll see what kind of progress we make on the next one. We're getting there though. All right, thanks for watching.